Daddio. This is from Angie Clark, straight from our CinemAddicts Patreon. Member, I forgot to mention, more important than that, a very good friend and pretty much sort of the extended family of cinematics. She was harping in a positive fashion for weeks about we should see Daddio. We should tell our cinematics listeners how amazing Daddio is. It's a very bare bones and simple plot. Sean Penn plays a cab driver. His last fare of the day, of the evening, of the morning, I don't know what time it is Dakota Johnson. She is the passenger, his final passenger. He's supposed to take her to her domicile located in Midtown Manhattan. And for the next 100 minutes, you have a conversation between the cab driver and the passenger. You get to learn a little bit more about their lives. They have banter. It's if you like movies like Before Sunrise trilogy or talkie movies like My Dinner with Andre, locked location situations like Lock, Daddio might be for you, including, well, if you like Dakota Johnson and Sean Penn, each of them get very showy roles because for 101 minutes, excluding a couple of moments where there is silence, it's them talking, them speaking to each other. Daddio, rated R, and currently, as of this recording, it is streaming on Netflix. The critics' rating was 77%, but the popcorn meter, which is the most important, people like us, the normal folk, rating is 88%. Daddio, Eric Holmes, what is your thoughts on this movie?
Oh, first of all, I'm surprised that it's not nearly as high as the Christmas and Miller's Point, but this movie's actually good. Yeah, this came from Angie Clark. And sometimes we'll like watch, we don't live anywhere near each other, but sometimes we'll watch movies together and just like watch it at the same time and just kind of message each other back and forth as we're watching the movie. That's kind of what we did here. I think he kind of said it with the Before Sunrise, but in the setting of Locke, because it's
Yeah,
not, this doesn't really have, I guess it's got a little bit of a narrative through line with her boyfriend or whatever that person that is that keeps
sure.
texting her.
Yeah,
But for the most part, there's not really a narrative through line. It's just two people talking to each other about a whole bunch of different topics, which is leans more towards the Before series than it does Locke. Because Locke is, there's a specific thing he's going to and a specific thing he's supposed to be doing, that he's got to, there's a narrative there. With this, it's just two people talking in a cab for the most part. And when the writing's as good as it is and the performances are as good as it is, that's kind of all you need to get you leaning in further and wondering what they're going to say next, what they're going to talk about next. If someone says something, how is the other person going to respond, and what's their take on that sort of concept? And yeah, this was a damn good movie. Loved it.
directed and written by Christy Hall. I will make a really horrible admission towards the end of the movie. Actually, at the end of the movie, something happens and I teared up.
Uh,
Against my better judgment, I teared up at the
uh
final moment of Daddio. Eric,
don't
yeah.
don't feel bad about that. I did the same thing.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't tear up. There were tears in coming down from my eyes. Okay. So I
And
didn't.
it was kind of like the end of Up, where like he gives them that pop top.
Yeah.
And if you don't know the context, it doesn't mean anything. But if you've watched a movie, you get to that point. Now you know the context of that, just that simple gesture, just waterworks start flowing. There's a similar sort of thing with Daddio.
Yes. Like Eric perfectly said, simple gesture towards the end that if you had context, meaning if you watched the freaking movie, there's a good chance that it may hit you in the feels. I hate saying the feels, but yeah, it may hit you. Would be interesting, Eric, to see people who've seen Daddio did the final moment hit them as well. Also, Eric, I don't know if you agree with me on this, but whether or not you're a Dakota Johnson or Sean Penn fan, I think they're just both so good in this movie that you don't have to be an enthusiast of either actor. I think they both meld into their respective roles really well. You
Yeah.
don't have, yeah, they're
I
just great.
I'm also kind of happy for Dakota Johnson because it's hard to feel sorry for her because she's had hits with the 50 Shades of Grey. Madam
Yeah.
Web, not really a hit, but like she's not like panhandling or anything. But when she hits like with Daddy-O, Cha Cha Real Smooth or Suspiria,
Yes.
Bad Times at El Royale, like every once in a like her big movies seem to be her loudest movies seem to be the ones that are like her. But then like she's got these like other movies that don't quite hit or kind of fly under the radar a little bit. And pretty great in them, and this one's no exception. She's fantastic in this.
The Peanut Butter Falcon, just
Yeah,
some really good. Yeah, I totally agree, Eric. And I still haven't seen Madame Web or Madame Web. I
I
don't know, just yes,
I think Madam Web and the 50 Shades kind of eclipse her career probably more than they should. Because they're two bad movies for sure, but she's done some pretty great ones too, and she's been great in them.
yeah. And the fact that she produced Cha Cha Real Smooth and Daddio, she's also a very good producer. These are
Yeah.
two quality projects. My only prohibitive thing is the warning for Daddio is listeners, if you go in thinking it's just two people, they're good actors and they're in a cab and they're talking and it's 100+ minutes, it could be boring. Listen to what Eric said. When you have good writing and performances, it can really work. And in
Oh
this
yeah.
case, it works really well. Final thought, Eric, on Daddio and your rating.
Angie, thanks for this. It was a fantastic movie. Loved it. And where is the thing? There it is. I will go 5 stars on this.
Angie Clark, thank you for being a Patreon member. No, thank you for your constant movie recommendations. That means I have to freaking watch an extra movie every week. I just don't want to do that anymore. Thankfully, I'm kidding, Angie. Thankfully, it was Daddio. My rating for Daddio is 4.5 stars. Really loved this movie as well. Again, as
What
if there's recording streaming on Netflix. Yes, Eric Holmes.
what would have sent it over to 5 stars for you, do you think?
Oh, I was gonna make a crash joke. It had to do with it would have to do with some of the phone texting in the movie. No, I'm not gonna go there. But you know what? I don't know. It's just it could go up. It was just a very, very good movie.
All
It's
right.
not a classic, but
Yeah.
it's actually 4.5 stars. Highly excellent.
Oh
And
yeah,
actually,
4.5 isn't bad. I was just
what would make it in five? I don't know. If it was more like Christmas Eve in Miller's Point, which I'll probably give 4 stars or 5 stars once I watch it tonight. So
if Scott Atkins was in it, then I would have
Scott Atkins
pushed
was
it.
in it. Or that actress didn't take cover. She was great too. She was whatever her name was. She's fantastic. But anyways, 5 stars for Eric Holmes, for Daddio, 4.5 stars for me.